Yo, what's going on, everybody? What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Rich back in the building one more again. It's good to be back with y'all. Real Talk with Rich is back. We back from our winter break and just happy to be here. Back first show of the 2024 campaign. So what up, everybody? Hey, man, it is good to see you guys here. I have been just chilling. Of course, I've been doing the Wednesday wrap up with my crew. Shout out to the Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever fam and all that good stuff, man. I tell you, it is a blessing to just hang out with y'all on another Sunday night. And again, it's good to be back, y'all. So what's been going on? So today, of course, today is Sunday, and it's the day before the holiday. Want to wish everybody a happy MLK Day. Hope that you do some reflecting, and hoping that if you don't have the day off, I hope that you don't have to work too hard. Shout out to Dr. King and his family and the legacy that is, the civil rights movement and his part that he played in making our lives here in America better. With that said, you know what I'm saying, I had a lot of day of football today, so I want to shout out. First, yesterday, I want to shout out my Texans. They did their thing, beat Cleveland, and shout out to C.J. Stroud. Yeah, my man is the legit. So if we can get the defense together, boy, Texans gonna make a lot of noise in the next few. If not this year, next couple upcoming years, yeah, my squad is coming. And I want to shout out to the Dallas Cowboy fans. Woo! Y'all might not have a coach tomorrow. I might not have a coach. I don't know what's going on here in Dallas. It's not good. It is not good. I like Dak Prescott, but he literally, defense didn't do him no favors either. I will say that their defense didn't do them no favors. And Love, he's a good young quarterback. I mean, he did his thing. Man, it's like the Cowboys did not show up at all. And so even to now, I'm kind of struggling being here tonight with y'all because there's a game on now, Detroit and LA, man. And that's I've been checking it out, so I had to just cut it off to start the show. But yeah, man, I love this time of year, man. Football, playoff football. Love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. Shout out to the Chiefs. Yeah, they did their thing. And it's kind of hard, when you in southern Florida and you like all that sunshine out there, it's gonna be kind of hard. Gonna be kind of hard to play in freezing temperatures. And that's what it was. So, bruh, yeah, y'all. But Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. It is what it is. And we got a squad like he do, and a tight end like Travis Kelce. What can you say? Not only that, we got a game tomorrow night, so I am looking forward to the game tomorrow night. Get to see Buffalo do their thing. I mean, it's just shout out to Otis Black Lion Otterberry. Otis, I don't know how you live in Buffalo. God bless you, sir. That's just too much snow. That is just too much snow. The king of Wakanda has no business living in Buffalo. I'm just saying, bro. I mean, it is a lot of snow up there, man. But salute, all of you guys that live out there on the East Coast, man, up there. And I don't know how y'all do it. Respect. That's all I'm gonna say. With that said, man, let's get into these shenanigans today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna start with low-hanging fruit. That's a segment of our show where we talk about the news. We talk about the things that are going on. Some of these things we may have already talked about with the squad. Some of these things maybe not. Our first article comes from Superhero Hype, talking about the DC Power book. The Signal, Green Lantern, and more star in DC Power 2024 preview. So, of course, we know that this is an anthology that DC has released in the last couple of years, highlighting, Black History Month. And, the books have been solid. Our last year's book, I thought, could have been a lot better. I am looking forward to this particular book itself for 2024. It's a lot of great artists and writers that are going to be on this book. There is Sean Martinborough and Tony Atkins doing a GCPD book with Spectra. And, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to Jamal Campbell. Dennis Cowan is going to be doing a story with Daron Bennett. There's a story by Sherilyn Eaton and Isaiah Fulmore, who's doing a Thunder and Lightning story. Lamar Gills, the guy who just did Static Up All Night, he's doing a book with Sean Damian Hill, or a story, I should say. Also, John Ridley, everybody's favorite Black Panther writer, is doing a story with Valzad. So I'm looking forward to that. And there's a story by Alita Martinez called The Natural Order with Nubia and Mr. Mixaplick. I didn't see that coming, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm just kind of curious about that. So not only that, but there is a story by Jarrett Williams and Domo Stanton talking about Kid Flash. So that should be pretty cool. Then there's a Mr. Terrific story with Greg Burnham and Johnny Lindsay. And so that's with other stuff. I don't think that's everything, but it's supposed to be like 104 pages. Pretty thick book. It's going to hit you as far as cost, $9.99 plus tax. They got like three covers, I want to say. Looking forward to that. And, it's, pick it up. You know what I'm saying? I know some people are feeling some type of way about it, about these books coming out in Black History Month. And we're going to talk a little bit later about this kind of thing that's going on in Black History Month. And that's the cover we were talking about on Wednesday night. I'll probably pick up that cover there. For whatever reason, I just do not like the DC Power A covers. I never have. I've always gotten the B or C covers. So, yeah, that's what's up with that. So anyway, man, so y'all got something to look forward to, you know what I'm saying? These are stories that, or highlighting characters that don't necessarily get highlighted like they should, or talked about or written about like they should. And so it's an opportunity to kind of just, check some new stories out. Frustrated said they really need to do more with the signal. We're going to talk about that, bro. We're going to talk about that. Stay tuned. So, yeah. Let me shout out the chat. Chat, I want to thank you guys for coming. Dosverse, thank you. Bot Boy versus Tron World. Frustrated, absolutely, as always. H&H, thank you for coming. Everybody that's here, you know what I'm saying? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So while this is unique for a Sunday, but I'm here. Well, I'm glad you're here. Pericles, what's happening? But yeah. So, and Gordon, as always, salute. That's what's up. Winter Man Project chilling. That's what's up. Thank you guys for coming. NBA Live Girl, blessings. How are you? So yeah, so that's what's going on with that. We're gonna talk a little bit about this thing with Black History Month and our down the rabbit hole deal. So we're gonna get a little deep tonight. So I hope you guys don't mind. Next article is going a bleeding cool article. This has been running around in the news. Ivan Valez on lack of royalties and credit for DC Milestone Compendium. Ivan Valez, former writer for Black Blood Syndicate, particularly, and Static, did a TikTok. And in this TikTok, he talks about getting a couple of comps, 2 books of the Milestone Volume 3 Compendium. However, his name does not appear on the book on the front page or the cover of the book itself. There are other writers and artists whose names are mentioned, but his name is not there. You got to understand something. Ivan Valez drew Static 19 through 20, as well as Blood Syndicate 1 through 17 and 19 and 30, finishing with 33 to 35. So he's got credits in this compendium. His work is in this compendium. However, he's not getting any royalties from this. And that's not cool when you think about it. We all love Milestone. And I don't know what's going on over there at Milestone Media. I don't know what's really happening behind the scenes. All we can do at this point is speculate. We were kind of talking about behind the curtain about the things going on with Milestone. And I'm at the point now where I'm just like, you know what? Let the community discuss it. Let the community talk about it, because they're not saying nothing. They're not saying a mumbling word as to why Ivan Valez is not getting royalties from, what they're doing with the compendiums. This is this man's work. Y'all need to put some respect on his art and his talent. He was right there. And, again, I don't know the particulars, but Ivan Valez knows where a few of the bodies are buried. This is a guy that was there when Dwayne McDuffie and they were doing their run back in the 90s. And so it's messed up. And I'm just asking Milestone to do the right thing. Now, some people will say that they can't do anything about it, that it's a DC thing. Well, I tell you what, they're going to get this work from the community until they address it, because it's not cool what's going on. All of this, of course, is allegedly. Okay, let me just say that, because I don't want nobody to say that we just putting out false information. I don't want nobody to think that we have an axe to grind. I am Team Milestone, but what I'm not is Team Shadiness. And I'm not interested in defrauding people who have put hard work and grinded and helped make Milestone the brand that it is. The funny thing is that with all of the new content, all the new Black creators and comic book labels and everything that's going on right now, everybody's still catching up to Milestone, which is why this is disheartening for me. The fact that the gold standard after all these years, have issues with their creators. Part of them breaking away and doing their own thing was because they had issues. And so, again, y'all do right by that, bro. For real. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ivan Valez. I hope he gets his coins, you know, and he may just have to do what it was. Sometimes was you may have to go a legal route. It is what it is. All I know is that y'all don't speak to it. Somebody's going to speak up. So it is what it is. Wayne Asher says, Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, now Ivan Valez. That's BS. That's why I never would work for the big two. Yeah, it's business is business. And sometimes it's just shady for whatever reason. Let's go to the next article before I get a little heated. Screen Rant. 10 indigenous Marvel characters to perfect to join the MCU after Echo. So of course everybody knows that Echo has dropped on Disney Plus. I've seen a couple of the episodes, and I got to say, I'm kind of impressed. I'm enjoying it, and you know, it's something. You know, some people said, "Well, we didn't ask for this." Like, you didn't. You ought to be glad you got it, though. I'm just saying. So, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this particular article from Screen Rant just talks about Marvel characters that are indigenous. And, you know, if you don't have a lot of indigenous characters in your collections, or if you don't read, you probably have and you just didn't know, if that makes any sense. Because, you know, there are not a lot of indigenous characters, but there are a few. And we're just going to talk about those here. Tron World, what up? The super chat. Hey, that's what's up, bro. I've been trying to tell y'all for a year that they crooked from the beginning, but I get it. Nobody knows about me, and that's their doing. I helped develop Milestone, created the Bible. Long story short, they stole from a 16-year-old black kid. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Tron World. And I do believe you're going to, at some point, get to tell your story, bro. You know, I want you to tell your story. I really do. I really want you to tell your story. I mean, you know, and again, the Milestone is the Milestone comic are amazing and legendary, but I know that there's a story behind the stories. And, you know, I just, you know, I don't know if it's you could do it or somebody, but somebody need to write a book for real. Somebody needs to do the hard leg work and give us the story, man. I mean, we got all of these books and stuff. You can go out and get all kind of different things about Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, and Stan Lee. And these guys are no different. I mean, we need to hail them, you know, as such, but we also need to, like, man, what is the story? Because again, you know what I'm saying? And I do think that some of the stuff that's going on with them could be chickens coming home to roost. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. But let's get to this here. So now, in terms of the indigenous characters at Marvel, the first character we'll talk about, you know, this is going actually down from 10 to 1. And the first one will be Forge. Okay. Forge is a character that a lot of y'all know. If you're an X-Men fan, you definitely know. If you're a Storm fan, you definitely know. Forge and Storm had a thing one time, but Forge's first appearance is Uncanny X-Men issue 184. So Forge is probably, in my opinion, the most popular. There are others. He says it's in development. Okay, he sends us another super chat. It's in development. I got the T on DC as well. That's what's up. Thank you again.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Salute. All right, Tron World. I see you, man. The next one is Danielle Moonstar. He says, I know a couple weeks ago the Milestone doc is no longer on HBO Max. Hey. There's some stuff going on, but I just don't know what it is. Milestone got issues, allegedly. That's all I'm going to say. Dwayne McDuffie gave me that nickname when I quit in 91. Wow. Man. I tell you. Life happens. But man, I wish Dwayne McDuffie was here. I know that some of the stuff that's going on, it wouldn't be happening with him. I don't know. It's messed up. That's all I can say. But Danielle Moonstar, her first appearance is Marvel graphic novel number 4, and she was a part of the New Mutants. So number 8 will be Red Wolf. Red Wolf is Marvel's first indigenous superhero, and his first appearance is Avengers number 80. Puma from Amazing Spider-Man issue 256. He's a villain, but he's also an indigenous character. Shout out to Puma. I know that Otis has been on our channel and talked about his collecting Puma. Warpath. First issue of that, first appearance is New Mutants, issue number 16. This is this guy with a skilled hunter. He's got vibranium knives. I'm here for that. Frustrated says, my favorite guy was Warpath. Yeah. There's also Redstone. His first appearance is Supreme Power number 12. He's also a villain. American Eagle is another one. His first appearance is Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 6. And Thunderbird, which is also another popular indigenous character. His first appearance is Giant Size X-Men number 1. So he's in there with Storm. Yeah. So Thunderbird is been around, and matter of fact, he's been around in the modern X-Men stuff. Risque, her first appearance is X-Force number 51. And the last one, or the top one, is actually Wyatt Wingfoot. His first appearance is Fantastic Four issue 50. What's interesting about Wyatt Wingfoot is he doesn't have any superpowers, but he's associated with a lot of superheroes. One particular superhero, in fact, is She-Hulk, which is interesting in that She-Hulk is in the MCU, right? And, you know, they had a relationship at one point. Matter of fact, Dwayne McDuffie wrote a 2-issue story with a Wyatt Wingfoot in it. And so, you know, that would be kind of cool to see Wyatt Wingfoot show up in the MCU. But this article just kind of highlights a couple of the characters that they could actually, you know, employ in the MCU. And so it's right there for other characters to kind of pop up, which is interesting with the situation with Echo, because they have made all the Netflix shows based on the stuff that's going on with Echo or whatever. They've kind of made it MCU canon. So they're going to use it. So we may actually see Mike Coulter play Luke Cage in the MCU. Now, I just need them to do better by Danny Rand. Please, can we get something better than Iron Fist? I'm just saying. So yeah. So if you guys want to pick up some indigenous characters for your collections or whatever, I just named a few, and you can Thunderbird was true, no doubt. Yeah, it's we should know about these characters. I mean, you know, we get on people's cases about not knowing our characters, but we should know other characters as well. And so I like that they did Echo. I mean, I didn't really understand it at first. It was kind of like left field for me, but I've enjoyed the show. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys are enjoying the show or have enjoyed the show. I know a lot of people I mean, they dropped, which is weird to me, that they dropped the whole shebang. I wish they would do all of them like that so we could just binge, MCU or Disney Plus shows like that instead of just doing the episodic come back every week. Hopefully they'll do something like this more in the future. So yeah, that's what's up. H&A says still hasn't finished with Echo. Says where is Wyatt Wingfoot? Is he shelved too? Possibly. Hadn't seen him in a minute for sure. But like I said, what I'm saying, he had a relationship with She-Hulk, and so that's something that She-Hulk is coming back in the MCU. So maybe they could introduce Wyatt Wingfoot in that way. I know, like I said, there's a 2-issue book that Dwayne McDuffie did on She-Hulk, where they were once an item. So we'll see. We shall see. Gordon says Echo was very good. I enjoyed it. Was surprised they dropped off. Yeah, man, it was the first time they did that. Maybe they just trying to see whether we'll watch it. Now some people, of course, and you just got some people that just don't like nothing. They just really don't like nothing. I don't even know why they have a TV in their house. I don't know why they buy comic books. I don't know why they buy. I don't know why they go to the movies. They just don't like nothing. But it's one of those things where I don't know why y'all tripping. I mean, what I'm saying? We got to give credit where credit is due. So I think Echo was it's been solid so far. But I got to finish watching it, and it's good that I have like tomorrow. I got tomorrow off, and I got Tuesday off. So I'm probably going to finish it up, take advantage of these days because it's a little cold outside today. I think I went to church this morning, and it was 14 degrees. And supposedly it's going to be like -1 tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be indoors. Rich, are you excited about the Madam Web movie? You know what? I'm gonna go see it. Can't say that I'm excited about it, only because I'm not really vested like that. And I'll be honest. The biggest thing I've heard from the Madam Web movie is it's eye candy. So I hope that's not the only thing that's going to bring people to the movies. But supposedly that's the biggest thing is eye candy. So I don't know. I'm going to go see it. This is one of those things where it's like, okay, Sony's putting this out. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it a look because Sony hasn't done really a bad movie if you think about it. All the Spider-Man movies have been pretty good. Now I know a lot of people don't like the Craven trailer that came out. I wasn't a fan of it either, but you know what I'm saying? Everything they've kind of done has been kind of consistent. So we'll see. Tron World says Echo was beautiful. Yeah. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out for sure. I'm gonna finish, watching it or whatever. And see, that's one of the things about it. One of the things that I noticed about it, how culturally relevant I felt like it was, because that's the thing about these superhero shows. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, everything is not culturally relevant. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff is just like cool comic book geek stuff, but this stuff here is like, you're able to see, the Choctaw, and you're able to see them actually, interact, and you're able to see these aesthetics, things that you normally would see in a history book or whatever. They're bringing it on the screen, so we could never quote unquote get enough of that. So I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 24 degrees in Texas. It was warmer in DC. No, 24. No, I said 14. It was 14. 1-4. Now, cold is cold any way you want to push it. Yeah, bro. I just, look, I'm from Houston. Look, at 50 degrees, we wearing leather. We outside in leather trench coats and furs. It's 50 degrees. This, no. That's why I live in the South. If I want to live close to snow, like I said, I'll go to Buffalo. I'll go to North Dakota. I'll go to shout out to Jay, Napoleon Winston. I'd move to Wisconsin. No, I like snow. I like snow in my snow globes. I like to look at snow. I like to look at snow on TV. I don't like to look at snow outside my. That's not me. That's not my ministry. Yeah. So with that said, let's go to the next article. Next article is a Hollywood Reporter article. Shout out to Jonathan Majors. Bruh, it's that's all I can say is ugh. So Jonathan Majors is dropped from the Dennis Rodman movie 48 Hours in Vegas. There was a movie that Lionsgate was going to put out. They were developing it, but they're no longer developing it. So they're going to ship it to other buyers. But even with them shipping it to other buyers and that kind of thing, they have dropped Jonathan Majors from the project. He was supposed to play Dennis Rodman. You know, back when we looked at the Last Dance, the ESPN miniseries with the Chicago Bulls, the 90 Bulls. And Rodman, of course, was a part of that. And there was a point where they were on their campaign, and Rodman was like, I need a vacation. And they were like, really? We're in the middle of a run and you want to go on vacation? And they gave him permission to go get it, whatever he had in his system, get it out. So they were going to do a movie about it. I can only imagine. Imagine the shenanigans going on with that. But we'll see. Trying World again with another super chat. Mike Davis, know that I created Ezekiel Sims, but sold it to Tom DeFalco. I have proof of the original design for Death Spider on my IG. Ew. Bruh. Listen, one thing about artists, shout out to all of my artists out here that are trying to do good work. You have to be very careful, man. Very careful. Because folks will steal. Folks, which brings me to Tron World's next comment. You know, I'm call me Cat Williams tonight. It's 2024. I just say, Cat said all lies are gonna be exposed. It is what it is. So yeah, man, that's unfortunate. So Bot Boy says he was also dropped from the Otis Redding biopic too. He looks just like him. Yeah. It's interesting, man, how all of this, you know, I think people don't realize how, well, I think they do actually. Now, I think they do. They were setting up Jonathan Majors to be that guy, to be the next big thing. It literally was right there for him. Great actor, no great actor. Let's just keep it a stack. He's been good. His Kang stuff has been good. But, you know, he finds himself in a situation and gets convicted. And so, you know, when I'm not even going to get into the shenanigans of what happened, because we've already kind of laughed at that and kind of joked about it and kind of scratched our head about it, except to say that, you know, your brand, you know, will take a hit, and the very people that cheered you and will now, you know, pull you down and now kick you while you're down. All of this stuff, man, and it's crazy. And I feel like, for the most part, you got played like a piano, you know. But that's what kind of goes on with Hollywood, and particularly its black actors. There's not a lot of black actors that get into a lot of trouble. If we can be perfectly honest, there's a few, but they're not no guys that are like really major big guys that have gotten into a lot of drama or whatever. Columbus Short is only one guy I can come off the top of my head that I can think about. That was a guy that was a very good actor that was doing good work, but for whatever reason couldn't stay out of trouble or kept getting into stuff with people. But that doesn't really happen a lot with black actors. We see this situation with this guy, and, you know, people are cutting and running. It is what it is. But I think that he's going to land on his feet. It may take a while, but I think he'll land on his feet. Frustrated says, I think Major should start suing Marvel and any other studios dropping him due to the court case. Well, it's kind of hard to do that because he's been convicted. He's been convicted. It would be different if you. One thing about when you are indicted, indictments are different than convictions. When they said that he was guilty, that kind of like, okay. And Marvel didn't waste any time. Like Pericles just says, I'm hoping that his appeal goes through. Yeah. He should definitely fight it. You know what I'm saying? He should definitely fight it. And, this is a cautionary tale for a lot of young actors in Hollywood. It's a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale. NBA Live Girl says, we'll be so interested in seeing him portray Rodman. Oh, yeah. I listen, I'm there day one. I'm here for the Rodman shenanigans. Yeah, that would have been dope. But he got dropped from the project, so, and it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. I'll say it like that. I think that he'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? But right now, his name is in the news cycle on a negative side, and people are walking away from the projects. But like I say, he was the guy that they had been kind of pushing to be the guy. Man, there's so much we could talk about when it comes to Jonathan Majors, but this is not that kind of channel. We do comics and that kind of thing. That's our deal. But, got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. We are, I don't say we, some of us are targets. And yeah, some of us just have a target on our back. And, unfortunately, my man's in the crosshairs. But I think he'll be fine. He'll land on his feet. It may take a year or two. But we'll see him on screen again. He's too good. He's too good. That's the one thing about it. If he was just a CD list actor or whatever, doing reality television or whatever, that'd be one thing. No, this guy's A1 actor. He's A1. So, yeah. So anyway, shout out to Jonathan Majors. I hope you land on your feet. Yeah, that's when back. He was dating Common Electric. Oh, Lord. I don't know what kind of story that they were going to tell. We heard stuff. That's all I'm going to say. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. I want you guys to get you something to drink, refills, snack, whatever. Now, before we go, it says, you would think Rodman would have some say about who depicts him. Well, style so serious, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying the thing is, Lionsgate had the movie, but they dropped the project. So, it could be one of those things where he may not even be associated with the project. He's a public figure. It could be something unauthorized. Now, he may have a role in that or whatever. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think he does, because I think that if Dennis Rodman being who Dennis Rodman is, we probably would have heard something, I think, just because. That makes sense, though, what you said, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's even attached. That's the thing. So we'll see. But look, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. We're going to transition to our Down the Rabbit Hole segment. We're going to get into something a little deep discussion. And we're going to talk about Black History Month. And we're going to talk about, is it purpose or is it pandering? What's going on with these comic book companies, particularly the big two? With that said, we want you to go get you something to snack, get you something to drink, whatever. Restroom break, check on the game, whatever. Be right back.
Comics are different. Those things cannot be returned if they do not sell. Okay, so that means that if they buy 10 copies of Monica Rambeau Photon and nobody buys it, they eat that money. And your local comic shop is, the margins are very thin, right? Times are hard for everybody. And so what that means is that it gives comic shop owners incentive to be very risk averse, right? And so you could order a bunch of Batman and you know that every month people are going to come in and buy Batman. It's often characters of color, new characters, lesser known characters where they're like, I don't know, this could be good, but if I put this on my shelves and people don't buy it, I lose money. And I'm sympathetic to that. That's a real assessment that they have to make. So the way that we avoid that is you go in and you pre-order. So Paul goes in 3 months before the comic set comes out and says, hello, I would like to pre-order Monica Rambeau Photon #1. I'm not going to wait till it comes out. I'm telling you now that I want it. And at that point, they're like, okay, let me go ahead and order this. And in the comics world, that is the sale that counts. By the time you come into a store and purchase a comic book, that sale does not count. I know it is ridiculous. It is very silly. That is the way it is. The sale that counts is when the store orders it from the distributor. That is what they are counting. And so what that means is that when you go in and you pre-order things, it actually gives that store confidence. Like, okay, Paul said Paul's going to be back and spend his $5 on this book. So we're good. If we order this one, we know it's going to sell and we can pay our rent. We're not going to be eating this cost this month. The best thing to do is your subscription or your pull list where you go in and you say, I want you to put these in every month for me, right? And then they will set that aside in a box.
Message.
Here's our black real estate in comics. What do I mean? Let's check out Black Panther. He is gone from the MCU for reasons. And what is happening in the comics? We can complain all day about how our champion is being treated, but we don't own that character. Look at Milestone character, created by one of the greats, Dwayne McDuffie, my guy. But we don't really own or control any of his characters. DC does. So I'll ask again, where is our black real estate in comics? Meet Delta Dogs from Millennial Comics, created and controlled by us, where story sits in the forefront. Delta Dogs is more than just black characters being black for the sake of being black. This story is about 7 cousins that gets into an encounter with a mysterious glowing stranger that changes their lives forever. And with their unique abilities, this family may be the one thing that can save their hood that's being ruled over by a vicious super gang. With an ex-criminal as their leader and other superheroes that looks the other way when it comes to their environment, this will be an impossible mission to pull off. Grab these books in our hardcover Ultimate Edition bundle at millennialcomic.com so we can really have some skin in the game when it comes to the comic book industry. Keep doing y'all thing, black comic lords. Peace.
Yo, we back. So, man, shout out to Varnell Young. Shout out to Dr. Eve Ewing, doing a bang-up job on Black Panther and definitely enjoying the run. Tron World says, care for some tea. I'm gonna need you to sit on some of this, Tron World. Don't share everything. Don't spill everything tonight. We got to get Derek, our producer's got to work on a disclaimer for the chat. Cause y'all be wilding in the chat. But anyway, so look, we're gonna get into our segment, Down the Rabbit Hole. Down the Rabbit Hole is a segment of our show where we get into the depth, the deeper things. And tonight, I want to talk about Black History Month covers and books. We did a Wednesday wrap-up show, and we talked about DC Power book that's coming out, and NBA. I think it was NBA Live Girl. Matter of fact, she asked the question. She said, "Well, how do y'all really feel about this?" My initial thought was, hey, we may not get it any other time. We might as well. They putting it out there. We might as well go on. It's on the table, might as well get what's on the table and keep it pushing. But I want to kind of talk about it tonight because, Black History Month is next month. And one of the things about Black History Month is, some people think that, they gave us Black History Month, to my white folks or whomever. They gave us Black History Month because it's the shortest month of the calendar year, or whatever, which is just not true. It is not. That's not true, guys. Carter G. Woodson kind of created Black History Week or Negro History Week. And one of his thoughts is that he wanted to do it in February because it was, a month that wasn't really nothing else going on in the month or whatever. It was just, he could have chose July, he could have chose August, he could have chose September, but it wasn't because, it was some conspiracy theory where, white folks were throwing shade. Well, we got the shortest month of the year right now. That's not what that was. You guys can Google that, okay? Don't take my word for it. Google it for yourselves. But no, this ain't has nothing to do with white folks. Some stuff is intentional. And Carter G. Woodson, who is the father of Black History Month, lets us know that. So, yeah. And NBA Live Girls, it's like that the only time they want to pander to us. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's a good thought. You know what I'm saying? It's and the question I had, my first question is, let's talk about this. Does it feel like pandering? Does it feel like pandering? Okay, I know I got, we Black folks here, but we nerds, okay? I know that. Because we like comic books. Somebody give us the definition, if they don't mind. I don't have a dictionary in front of me. But somebody give me the definition of the word pandering. Because, well, I might think pandering is something that's like, well, you just, because is it the same? Is it the same as patronizing me? Some people will say, don't patronize me, that kind of thing. Are we saying the same thing with this? Don't pander to us. Are we saying that? So I just want to know, what is the definition of pandering? H&H says, gratify, indulge an immoral or distasteful desire, need, habit of a person with such a desire, etc. Wow. Do y'all feel indulged? Dominique says, yes. Dominic Smith says, yes. It does feel like pandering. But the definition there says an immoral, to gratify and indulge, an immoral or distasteful desire, a need or a habit or a person with such a desire. What up, Bird Forever? Shout out to my brethren over in the UK with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, sir. So, please, guys, while you're here, like the video, share and subscribe. My man Paul says, someone who caters to or exploits the weaknesses of others. Someone who caters or exploits the weaknesses of others. So in essence, does that say that the Black comic book community is weak? Does that say that we are the object of exploitation? I thought the exploitation took place in the 70s. I thought we had that period. I thought we had the bell bottoms and the froze and the exploitation movies back then. We still got that going on. Is that still happening? Now, Frustrated says, pandering for me is more like, here is a Black Superman character that dies early in the story. Wow. Jack the Gamer says, I wouldn't say pandering, more so kissing up. Like, hey, you guys look at this stuff, buy it. So Carter G. Woodson chose February because that's when Frederick Douglass and Lincoln's birthday are. Yeah. Shout out to Robert Monroe. That's what's up. Yes, are we ready for that convo? Pandering isn't the P word I will use to describe more like patronizing. I said that earlier. Don't patronize me. So let's think about this for a moment, guys, right? So every year, you know what I'm saying, it comes around Black History Month, and I will throw an identity. Okay, now it means they want your money, but are only willing to do the bare minimum to get it. That part. So all of us that grew up in American schools, I can't speak for the UK. I know Lawyer Forever says Black History Month is in October over there. And that's what's up. I'm going to start celebrating Black History Month in October. We celebrate Black History Month 365, but you get what I'm saying. Kenneth C. Bridgewater say it's different. Black Superman will be gay, dumb, and then die first. Wow. You guys, man. You guys, I can't take y'all nowhere. H&H says, Cambridge definition, to do or provide exactly what a person or group wants, especially when it is not acceptable, reasonable, or approved of, usually in order to get some personal advantage. Okay. Now, in light of that definition, Paul, I'm not Paul, Derek. In light of that definition, Derek, we at times think that Black folks don't buy books, that we don't buy our books, or that we don't buy comic books. So why does DC or Marvel even bother? I've said it and I proved it on this channel, and I've showed receipts that Black comic book community is 14%, which is parallel to our population in America. We buy books. Are we buying Black books? That's a discussion we can have. But 14% of the comic book buying community is Black. So there is money in this, right? It's money for Marvel and DC to do this. Sometimes it looks kind of crazy. Resident 76. Okay, hold on. We got another super chat. Unfortunately, unless the indie outsells Milestone, yes, that's because they're the blueprint point to beat. Yeah, I mean, it's Milestone. It is what it is. They're the gold standard. They are the bar. There's no getting around that. Even with all the dirt that's going on with them, they still the standard. There's no getting around it. That's the truth. But Resident 76 says the book. Resident 76 says the books feel like a waste of time mostly. I kind of want to get to that, Resident 76. I kind of want to get to that. So I'm gonna put a pin in that, because I'm gonna talk about a little bit of that. But I want us to kind of discuss the pandering aspect of it. Because it's like, okay. The question that I want to ask is, now Style So Serious is more like, let's get this money if it's there, but make no effort to grow and maintain this market. We gonna get there. My question is, Frustrated, what up? He says, thank you for the super chat, for all the Black superheroes that don't patronize us. That's what? Salute.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
So, thanks for the super chat. Now, listen. H&H says this: patronize, treat away that's apparently kind of helpful, but that betrays a feeling of superiority. Let me ask y'all this question. What do you think Marvel and DC, by offering these books and these comics and these stories and these anthologies, what do we think? I'm asking you to think like Marvel and DC for a moment, okay? If you were ahead of Marvel and DC and you were going to do these books, what are you attempting to accomplish? What is your goal? What is your goal by offering these particular variant covers or these books, these special books? What are you attempting to do? What are you attempting to do? Because I mean, again, like I said, we buy books. It may not be the books that I might buy, but I know that we buy books. I go to comic shops. I see black guys buying books. I see black women in comic shops. We're there. We're not a whole lot, but we're there. Jack the Gamer says to look good to the public and say we do celebrate diversity. Yeah. Because the question is, do they care? Do they really care about representation? Or is it just another checkbox regarding diversity? I think that we're so jaded by the system and everything that has kind of happened that we I think we kind of think that off the rip, that you just want to check a box. Resident 76, the books are pandering, but it not pandering to the true black comic fans, but more the casual reader, ticking or checking a box. Yeah. That's interesting when you think about it. Dude, shout out to Paul. Paul with the super chat. He did this just to see the new video. I hope that meets your approval, sir. Yeah. we BP heavy this way. So anyway. So if it feels like pandering, it must be pandering. But the other side of that is there any purpose behind it? Can we find purpose behind it? Like, for example, what's our purpose in buying the books or getting the books? What's our purpose? If we see it as pandering, right? Which means that they really have a desired outlook that they want to do. What is our purpose in buying it? If it feels like pandering, should we leave it in the stores? But if I buy it, what is my purpose in buying those books and getting these covers? Because we like a cool cover. But it's like, okay, we had the discussion Wednesday night about this book being $10. It's like, man, that's a lot of money. And then Paul was like, well, the book is 104 pages. So that's good value for that. Right. And so again, what's the purpose? Now, I like Paul's answer, seeing a face like mine. Tennessee Bridgewater with the super chat. Black buys books. It's just that black characters doesn't do cool stuff like other characters. Like Storm is very powerful, but she doesn't do a lot of cool or important things. Jean Grey was lame, but got rebranded to Dark Phoenix. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Bridgewater. I appreciate that. And to your point, run the super chat, Derek. It's something to be said. Let's talk about these books, for example. Like, we're going to get this Black DC Power book. Marvel is doing variant covers. They're not doing stories, but at least DC is doing some stories. And so the cool thing is that we get a chance to see certain writers and certain characters in stories or whatever. But my issue is, why not do something more? Somebody talked earlier about they need to do more with the signal. And I agree 100%. 100% with that. They need to do more with that character. That's a dope character. Now, DC is doing a book right now with Batwing called The Outsiders. It's actually Batwing, Batwoman, and the drummer, I think that's her name. But it's a pretty good book. Pretty good book. Don't sleep on that book. Please, don't sleep on that book. If you like good storytelling, look good intriguing stories, espionage, that kind of stuff, that might be your jam. So now Jay says, if we have no significance to the story and we're just there, it's basically a box check and cash grab. True. And I think that they need to just do more. It's like kind of like going to the, cost of doing business type of deal. It's like, okay, we want your money, but I don't necessarily want to give you more bang for your buck. So I'm gonna just give you these stories and these variant covers this one time of the year, and I'm not going to worry about giving you anything else. And that's really to their detriment, in my opinion, because the hardcore is who you really want. The casual are casuals. They fickle, but the hardcore, you really want the hardcore money, because the hardcore is going to buy not only the hardcore is going to buy the A cover, hardcore is going to buy the B cover, hardcore is going to buy the 1 in 25, the 1 in 10. The hardcore is going to go above and beyond. But if you're just trying to get casual dollars, I mean, I take a short nickel before a fickle dime, in my opinion, because you might get that dime today, but you ain't guaranteed to get that dime tomorrow. Now, Paul asked the question, he says, why haven't Marvel and DC done crossovers with all black characters, with all black stories for Black History Month in all of their books? I think the reason why they don't want to do that is just because part of it is they don't want to necessarily piss off the fanboys. Everything, listen to me. Listen carefully. Listen what I'm about to say. Rich is about to, might want to run my disclaimer theory. I'm just saying. Matter of fact, you know what? Just go ahead and run it. And this is just my opinion. My opinion is they don't do anything without the fanboys in mind. Even this stuff. It ain't for the fanboys, but they even think about the fanboys when they do this stuff. And the truth is, the fanboys are kind of like, it's like a white Republican. I got to deal with certain parts of the base. I got to deal with the black. I got to deal with my black constituents. I got to deal with this segment. I got to deal with this segment. It's par for the course. If you want to do business, this is what you got to deal with. This is what you got to go through these different. But at the end of the day, it's still about them. At the end of the day, I feel like even when it comes to Marvel and DC, for all the stuff that's going on, there are guys that have YouTube channels that make their money strictly to talk bad about what Marvel and DC are doing. So again, like I said, they're doing everything with this and with them in mind. They're offering, if nothing else, content to either shade or to criticize or to just boo-hoo whatever's going on. Like I said, some people that they shouldn't own a TV. You shouldn't have a TV. You should not be allowed to go into a comic book shop. You don't enjoy nothing. Why are you here? Brett Forever says, thank you for the super chat again. I know the big two don't care about us. For the writers, artists, and characters I support. Still waiting for more Batwing and Vixen romance. You might be waiting on that, bro. Thank you, Gordon. Gordon says, I agree, Rich. Fanboys are more than likely always a part of the equation. Frustrated says, I think the black writers did more anime style of writing black heroes with them building up the powers and showing more reasons for even being a hero or even being a villain. I mean, look, we can debate styles. We can debate do it this way, do it that way. At the end of the day, it's about the responsibility of the collector. Now, some will say, don't buy this. Don't go to the store and spend your $10 on this book because it's temporary representation. We could do that. But what will that really accomplish? And at the end of the day, everybody has to make a conscious decision if this is what they want to do. Because we could definitely say, you know what, we can leave that in the store, DC, we don't want that. Marvel, we don't want that. We're not buying that. We're telling our friends not to buy it. Don't give us that. But then we get upset. It's like, well, man, they ain't did nothing for us. There's that dynamic as well. So the question is, are we ready to have a hard conversation about where we are when it comes to Marvel and DC? Because these books are not going nowhere, y'all. DC Power 2025 is coming. Marvel Voices, Marvel Voices is coming. You know, now me personally, I go into everything knowing that this is what it is. I go into everything knowing that this is something that, you know, it might be good, it might be terrible. All I ask for is to be good. If you're going to quote unquote pander or patronize me or whatever, at least whatever I spend my money on, let it be good. My criticism, I had a strong criticism for the DC Power book last year. And my criticism was rooted in the fact that, you know what, I need y'all to do better. Do your best stuff. Because again, we're talking about the fandom. We want the fandom to talk about these stories. We want the fandom to like really, really crave this thing. Because guess what? Let's say, for example, we get the book and there's a couple of stories in there that are really worth the dough. Do we take the time to like write DC and say, hey, I really enjoyed this story. Please do more. It's better to do that than to do nothing at all. Because if it's like voting, you can complain, but if you didn't vote, I don't know if I can help you. Dominic Smith, thank you for the super chat. Thorn Identity, he's got a solution. Pre-order books and buy the indies. Make a Black Walking Dead style successes and watch the two fall in line. Please hit us with the super chat.
Let's go! Let's go!
Style so serious. I think you got the super chat comment of the night. The only thing I remember last year's DC Power was the Cyborg story. And that's my point. If we get stories and we don't even really remember what was being said or whatever, if we don't really remember the stories themselves or whatever, it's like certain foods that we eat. You know what I'm saying? There are things that we can eat that may be they may lack nutritional value and they'll give you a little quick energy blast and that's it. But then there's food that sticks to your ribs. We need content that sticks to our ribs in terms of writing and in terms of art. That's what we need. Not a bunch of new guys on the block trying to get in the industry and they want us to buy this stuff and you hit us with a price tag. I had issues with that last year. I did. And again, I'm looking forward to DC Power 2024 because the lineup is better. And I don't know if they heard me or somebody else, but it's like, man, y'all please do better. Because again, it's like we collect comic books, but what do we remember? What sticks with us? What because part of writing a story is making me care about the character. I don't care about your character if your character is black. I need to know why I need to care about this character. If I just care about the character because he's black, then, that's like me caring about the guy down the street. I got to be invested. It's art. Remember, it's art. And because it's art, it has to say something. It has to speak to me. It has to speak to you. And that's why a lot of this stuff feels like pandering, because it's not really speaking to us. Frustrated says, an example of building up the Cyborg series. It would have been cool to see Cyborg doing some training with different heroes like Mr. Terrific, trying to get him to tap into his greatness. And see, that's the thing too. We don't see that. We don't see them cross-pollinating with different superheroes. That would be dope to see. I don't know why. That is literally like cash waiting to be printed if you just put some of these superheroes in books together. Give me a Black Lightning, Mr. Terrific book. Give me an Amazing Man and Vixen book. Give me something. Give us something that we can really, really dig into. Gordon says it's easier for them to make symbolic gestures than implementing real lasting change like the federal government. Well, see, that goes to the point of them creating original characters. It's easier for them to do this. It's easier for them to do this lazy stuff than it is for them to create new characters. The fanboys are mad at us because we're enjoying it and they're trashing it and think that we should reject it. But it's like, really? You got a long box full of books for your characters or whatever. I can't even fill up a half short box with my characters. And you feel what you can feel the way you feel. But I don't control what's not from what they do. So if they give me a quote unquote black Superman, I don't have to like it. But at the same time, it's better than nothing. That's the casual mindset. The casual mindset says, you know what? I see the Superman emblem on a black dude. I want that. Now the hardcore collector myself, like, man, I ain't buying that. But it's better than nothing. At least that's brought him in. I can't hate casuals for being casual. I can't. Cold Tiger says maybe it's more remorse on their end, so they're putting out something to pacify us as well as get the money. There's a lot to that. That's a lot to that. Behind the scene with the super chat, the power, I'm going to quote Captain Planet, the power is yours. Let me go back up and look at some of the frustrated says, okay, Thorn Identity said, remember Infinite Frontier Zero? Free comic book day with stories that set up the stuff coming in the following year. Books like Power can never matter because we know there's nothing followed up in any book. That part. And that, I don't know whether you really think about it, it's like a backhanded compliment. It's almost insulting. It's almost disingenuous. It's like, okay, we're going to give you this. Go away, black people. It's messed up. Style So Serious says those books may not mean much to mainstream buyers, but we create added value because they have more worth in our circles. Exactly. I'm not expecting them to I'm not expecting them to have love for Tyrod. I do. They don't care about Tyrod. I do. So again, there's a value that we find in these characters because to Paul's point, and to the Honorable Dr. William Foster, we're looking for a face like mine. That's always going to be a part of it. Robert Monroe Jr. says we may be 14% of range. Yeah. The fanboys are paying the majority of their checks, which is why I said earlier, all of this stuff is in light of what the fanboys are doing or saying. Yeah. It's messed up, bro. It's a funky game. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I got the answers. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, you know, because I could tell you, look, stop buying Marvel, stop buying DC, go buy strictly independents. You could do that. You can make that protest. You can wipe your collection out. But then because I challenge us, I challenge myself. Richard, are you gonna put away Black Panther? Are you gonna put away Blade? Are you gonna put away Black Lightning? Are you gonna put away Jon Stewart? Are you gonna put away these characters like Falcon? Hopefully they'll make some. They'll Sam Wilson will go back to being Falcon. Throwing out there and say sucks a long combo, man. Not nearly enough time. It's not. It's depressing. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's depressing because the truth is, we are literally on the losing end of this. And the only way we can win is here's the thing. We all have to walk. It's not good enough if I walk and you stay. It's not good enough that Paul walks and Derek stays. It's not good. We all have to walk. Everybody has to walk. Tron World says, got to get back to working these books. I hope you love them as much as my early uncredited works of mine. Stay well. Shout out to you, my brother. Be easy. Either way, Robert Monroe says we may be 4%, 14% of the comic book buying plug, but how many Black folks are buying books with Black characters? I worked in the LCS in the 90s. It was hard getting some Black customers to buy Milestone. Robert, I know that. That's a problem. We know that they're buying books, but they're not necessarily buying our books. And again, it goes to our perception. It goes to our perception as to how we see ourselves. Because a lot of times, particularly with Milestone, one of the biggest criticisms that Milestone had back in the 90s was that it was ghetto. And Milestone took a lot of heat from other publishers, Anaya Publishing particularly. Okay? Anaya Publishing, they basically called them you know what? I'm not even going to go there, except to say that there were elements in the comic book community that really did not like Milestone because they felt Milestone was, ghetto. Because Milestone dealt with street life, they dealt with teenage pregnancy, they dealt with drugs. They weren't always heroic books. They were reality books. That's how I looked at it. Truth be told, one of my favorite songs in the world is a Michael Jackson song. And that song is actually from the movie The Wiz. And it is a Black Pill song. I didn't even know Mike was Black Pill back then. Michael Jackson had a song on the Wiz soundtrack says, "You can't win." That's it, Derek. You can't win and you can't get out. You can't get out of the game. That is the story of the Black comic book community. You can go and try to do other stuff. You can go and support art, and I want you to. I want us to. But the truth is, a lot of us, our hearts are in these Marvel and DC books because we've been collecting them since we were little children. And you're telling me that I have to walk away from my childhood. And let me say this. This gonna probably get me canceled, but I'm gonna say it. To my Black Panther fans that talk about books, are you willing to walk away from T'Challa?
No. 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 No, 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 no.
Yeah, that part. Bite your tongue. That's why this is. That's why this is hilarious to me. We have to try to find a way to do both. Because I know that's hard for y'all to do. It's hard for y'all to give up the challenge. It's hard for y'all to give up the challenge. You can say to me, see, if I said, give up Black Lightning, you would bat an eye. You say, give him up. That's fine. I can do that. Give up Jon Stewart. No problem. Give up give up Thunderball. No problem. I can do that. Give he said blasphemy. Y'all not gonna do it. Y'all not gonna do it. Y'all not gonna do it. He said, don't make me jump for your line. No, bro. Listen, I'm just saying that the very powers that be, they holding all the trump cards. How can we win if they got all the trump cards? John Worth said, I heard that and now I can kick rocks. The same way I told them in the 90s. They was way too stuck up for real. Okay, I'm out for real. Listen, Anaya was talking reckless in the 90s. Boy, oof. G-Town said, I can give up Rocket Racing. Yeah, but T'Challa, y'all give up T'Challa. Y'all started that new hashtag, give up T'Challa. Boy, I'll probably get kicked out of the Black Comic Law. He said, Cold Tiger says, if we're talking about principle, then why don't we? That's a good question, Cold Tiger. And that's why I'm asking the question. Message from the Wakanda Embassy. We were watching you. Y'all gonna stop this. Y'all gonna stop the shenanigans. Look, I'm not offering anything but the truth. And sometimes the truth, the thing about the truth is that it bites. It bites. And this is biting. This is a biting thing. Because it's like, okay, we know that we need a solution. Thorn Identity says, because it's a circle, quit T'Challa. They say nobody likes T'Challa. Buy whatever they do with T'Challa, and they say, see, got him. I'm not, again, I'm just bringing up that character. Because again, like I say, if we said walk away from Jon Stewart, no problem, I can walk away from Jon Stewart. Walk away from Jefferson Pierce. Okay, I'm on board for that. But the minute I say T'Challa, oh no. The whole Black community be up in arms. We can't do that. So we got to find a way to balance it. KJ Sakuma. Oh, I don't want to mess up your name. It says Jeffrey A. Brown got a book on Milestone. This convo reminds me of a good book. Okay, that's what's up. I'm just trying to figure it out, guys, just like y'all. I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't have the answers. That's the thing. I don't. Behind the scenes, so we taking the red pill this year. If we keep getting them Cat Williams conversations, we might not have a choice. We might not have a choice. Bless up, big up yourself, one and all. Hey, what's going on, Sierra? Good to see you. Behind us say, give up T'Challa. What kind of message is that? Hey. Paul says BP is ours now. Paid for the blood, sweat, and tears of black creators who have elevated the character. Yeah. Hey, look, you get no argument from me, bro. I'm just saying, The Bot Boy verse says, I noticed when Image started a lot of books featured black characters, I wonder if the Marvel editors wouldn't create new black characters while they worked there. It's a good question. The thing is, Troy, man, you funny. Louis Gossett doing, you do. You don't stop, bro. Don't shame me on my own show like that. Don't do that. You host the show. Look. I think that in all seriousness, when it comes to T'Challa, he's the gold standard as far as black superheroes is concerned. And I have a lot of books in my collection. I have a healthy dose of Black Panther. As a matter of fact, I got books. I got every Black Panther run in my collection. So I know I'll be one of those ones that will struggle with that. But the problem with a question like that I just posed was that, we're not sure what's on the other side. And that's why we need things like faith. Do you have faith in the black comic book community? That's a question. Matter of fact, that's a bar. Do you have faith in your fellow black comic book collector? That's the bigger question. Do you have faith in your fellow black comic book collector? In regards to the culture. When the options are nothing or bad writing, I'd take nothing in that scenario. TBF, there's never really nothing, as I said earlier, always indies, Kickstarters, etc. I agree. I agree 100%. Dawn Identity said, I wish that was true. Delroy Lindo would make a great tangent Superman. There's Bitterroot in Philadelphia. There are alternatives. There are legitimate alternatives. But I tell you what, somebody need to holler at David Walker and Chuck Brown and say, hey, we need another volume of Bitterroot. We need another volume. We need y'all to get back to work. Y'all need to make that happen. Shout out to Rodney Barnes in Philadelphia. There are alternatives for sure. Behind the scenes says we are all marks, junkies with an infinite addiction, buy, consume, complain. Well, that's black. That's black pill as it get. That ain't the red pill. That's black pill. Shout out to Blurred Forever with the super chat. Samuel L. Jackson is a comic fan. We need his support. He is. Funny though, Sam he plays Nick Fury in Marvel in the MCU, but he's a DC guy. He's a DC comic book fan. That's so weird to me.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Appreciate the super chat. Troy Graham says, I only buy independent black-owned comics, expect when it comes to Blue Marvel. Man, look, somebody get a word to Marvel. They need to write there needs to be a new Blue Marvel title. If I'm gonna stay at DC, we gotta come up with we gotta do like Attica. We gotta take over the asylum, something, but that's gotta be one of our list of demands. We need a Blue Marvel run. Matter of fact, I know what? I need y'all to do some homework. I want us to come up with a 10-point program like the Black Panthers. I want us to come up with 10 demands, a list of 10 demands from the big two. What do we really want? Like for real. Like for real. But now me personally, it's just tried to pitch Blue Marvel, they wouldn't even hear. I know. I know. I know, Jeff. I know. I hate it. I will say this. Haven't really read a bad black book in the past 2 years. I felt the writers have been doing really good. True. DC isn't pay brother Samuel millions. You go who pays your bills. I know, bro. Yeah. That MCU check, Samuel L. Jackson is the only issue. You can't say mother every other word. Oh, well, hey, he can say it in every other role he gets. Right. But again, guys, we have to really think about it. I really want us to think about it. Like, what is it that we really, really want? Because these books are going to come out next month. Some of us are going to post these books. Some of us are going to talk about these stories. But can we at least, if the books are good, can we at least contact DC and say, hey, we really enjoyed this. Even if you hate it, send them let them know how you feel. Because I think they don't know how we feel. Sometimes, it's like, I know we got some people from Marvel and DC that watch us, and that's cool. But I just wonder, do they really know the struggle it is that we have? Why are we on the struggle bus with them? Why we don't trust them? And at the same time, at times, depend on them. Because to Paul's point, are there alternatives that come out every month? It isn't. Robin Monroe says Marvel doesn't want to do a Blue Marvel series, and they definitely don't want Kevin Greavy anywhere near it, even though he created the character. No lies detected there. But that's why we got to go get Darkstorm. That's why we got to go get Jeffrey Thorne's, find out what Jeffrey Thorne is doing in his stuff and support that. Find out what the people at Godhood Comics is doing and support that. Find out what the people over at Advent Comics is doing and support that. Find out what they're doing at Concrete and support that. If you got a favorite creator or whatever, and he's got a Kickstarter, find out about it, share it, support it. That's how we fight against this beast. Are we going to go to the shop and get the Black Panther book? Absolutely. I've been reading comics since I was about 7, 8 years old. And, for me to walk, somebody say, I need you to walk away from it. I could, but here's the thing about that. The only way I could walk away from Marvel and DC is if I walk away from the hobby. I would have to completely walk away. Because I'm going to see something in a newspaper, not a newspaper, but on a website. I'm going to see something that's going to say, hey, you should check this out. And I know too many comic heads that will be hitting me up, be like, Rich, man, I know you're not reading books now, but you need to really go get this. It's not fair, bro. It's not fair. Troy says, if Marvel isn't using Blue Marvel, let's buy its rights from Marvel. I don't even know if they would sell it, to be honest with you, bro. I mean, to be honest with you, would you sell? That's I mean, hey, I wish Lou Steelworks, Blade, Green Lantern, War Journal have been good to me. They have. They are. Questions need to be still had, like the length of runs and how soon they'll be available at their current runs, in my humble opinion. Well, I don't know. I don't know the turnaround in terms of things going to graphic novels or trades, I should say. Usually, like for example, I'll give you an example. The first Black Panther volume that Dr. Eve Ewing is doing, that volume is available now. That trade is available now. You can go get that at the store. So she's up to like issue number 7, I want to say. So that's literally like you're talking about 6 months. That was a quick turnaround in terms of them producing a trade for that particular book. Nostalgia Series S, I really want to follow up to Mosaic. Mr. Thorne, you're here. Will they even allow Mr. Jeffrey Thorne to do that? Because Mosaic's been on the shelf. H&A says challenges if they have the big two means that they have to put out a regular series, but we wait months for the next indie issue. It's a game. At the end of the day, that's how I see it. That's the only way I can keep my sanity, is recognizing that that's a game. It's a game. It's a game. All of this is a game. And you can play or not play. And put in the Black Independent Black comics on your pull list. Make sure your LCS orders them. They may get an extra copy that someone can discover. Well, you know, I go to a comic shop here in Fort Worth that, you know, part of them doing Marvel and DC stuff is they handle all independent stuff as well. The Antagonist, Godhood comics, Advent, they sell those books in the stores. I have them on my pulls. They were on the shelves before I actually put them on my pulls. I was just encouraged that they were doing that. They're out here in some of the stores, but not every store. Like Little Rock File, look, I haven't found that book yet. I haven't found it. If anybody got an extra copy of Greg Burnham's Little Rock Files, could you please send me a copy? I'll be so grateful. Because I can't find it. I can't find it here in DFW for whatever reason. I gave you for a year, brother. Okay. Mosaic's a sore subject for Jeff. My apologies. I know he was the creator of it, though. You know, man, not enough folks about it. And that's what's hurtful. Behind the scenes, stop. He said, would you put on a dress for Blue Marvel and T'Challa books and movies? No. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. If we can't get Blue Marvel, then we boycott Marvel, recreate the character, make it our own. Well, Kevin Greavy did that. Kevin Greavy's Darkstorm. That's kind of pretty much his alternative version to Blue Marvel. Go to Kevin Greavy's website. I don't know if we can put his website in the chat, Derek, but you know, Darkstorm is pretty much his Blue Marvel. So Troy, he has a Blue Marvel alternate that he's done himself. Behind the scene, hashtag Troy gang, troll gang. Y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna stop. But you know, I definitely like the sentiment, guys. I'm getting ready to wrap this up, but I'm gonna just say this: that when it comes to our books and how we feel about them, everything is relative in regards to your passion. If you get something and it's for you, then you have to treat it like it's for you. And that means you have to have a zeal for this stuff. But if you're just kind of casual with it, you know, that's the reason why we use the word casuals in this space. Because for you, it's not really a big deal. For some of us, it's everything. But you gotta have your heart in this. It's the only way it makes sense to you. Sierra says my LCS didn't order any of the Little Rock Files despite promoting the series on their website. Yeah. I mean, this is what it's like to be a black comic lord, y'all. This is what it's like. See, one thing about us, everybody that's in this chat is a black comic lord, in my opinion. And what I mean by when I say black comic lord is that we literally love these books, we love these characters, we love these stories, we love everything about this. this thing about us, right? Because it's a niche within a niche within a niche. And we have to defend it. We don't have to defend the actions of corporations, but we do have to defend the creators. We have to defend the writers. We have to defend the artists. We have to defend the people that matter, that make this thing go. And we have to encourage, because I think a lot of people get discouraged. Because it's like Mosaic, for example, it didn't sell. That's disheartening. But that's the reality of this of this fandom and what goes on. Sometimes you have to police your stuff. Frustrated says, I still haven't gotten my Acolyte #1, and I pre-ordered that book from my LCS. Might need to go to another LCS, bro. For real. Because if you pre-ordered it and they hadn't got it in yet, something wrong with that. It said, okay, behind the scene, you did it. I just created a chat disclaimer because of you. That's funny, man. Guys, when I say you gotta police your stuff, you gotta really be on it. One of the things about us is that, Marvel and DC have allowed the community to become lazy in a sense. And what I mean by that is that, okay, I go to the shop, I pre-order it, I pick it up, I enjoy it, blah, 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 I can talk about it, that kind of thing, right? You talk about it, but we have to also be vigilant. We have to kind of like really go above and beyond. You have to go to your LCS and say, hey, I pre-ordered this. Look, man, I need this book. Stop playing with me, for real. And be the kind of customer where, if no matter what it is, it's a comic book. It may not mean much because it's a comic book, but you're paying your hard-earned money. So you have to let people know who you are. And what I mean by that is that you're the customer, and the customer is always right. Sometimes we just give LCSs a break. I'm not loyal to any of them. I spend money at different LCSs for different reasons. And I have no problem telling the LCS that I have a subscription that I go to other shops. You know why? Because I recognize that my patronage does not always affect their bottom line. So you're going to have to do things that are going to keep me at the shop. That means letting me know when there's something dope coming in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Rich, we just got this in. I thought I put it in your box to check you out. That kind of stuff. But if I'm just some dude that's just buying I buy the black books off the shelf or whatever, and you don't really help me to build my collection or build my collection through your store, why am I be loyal to you for that? Frustrated says, I love these chats. Hit him with the super chat, Derek. Oh, Lord. The head troll in charge is in here. He says, if we abandon Marvel and DC, we're also abandoning the black writers and artists that are working for those companies. I said it was complicated. I said we couldn't win, Robert. I don't know. I just do not know. But you know what I do know? I am going to, Derek, I'm going to ask you to pull up a commercial and we're going to come back and we're going to do chat talk. So whatever you guys want to talk about, it's on you. I done talked about what I want to talk about. Hopefully I gave you some thoughts. You've definitely given me some thoughts to think about, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you got? What's on your mind? What are you reading? That kind of thing. So Derek, if please take us to commercial, one little quick commercial. Y'all, we're going to reset, come back, and we're going to talk to y'all.
This is Derek Harrison of Black Comic Lords, and I'm here with Greg Burnham. You might know him from Tuskegee Airs. He's got several other titles, and this is a new one that's coming out in November.
November 22nd, Little Rock Files. It was a story that we originally did in Noir is the New Black, which is an awesome anthology y'all need to get if you don't have it. But we did a 6-pager in there, and we ended up getting asked to do a full book. So the interiors, I'm holding this one. These are 2 of the covers. The interiors are being done by Quinn McGowan, who did this book. Who did this poster cover. And then Marcus Williams, my co-creator on Tuskegee Airs, he did the art for this cover. And we also put like our original 6 pages in the book, just so you can have everything that we've done so far. It's a 1980s noir detective story that takes place in Little Rock, Arkansas. We actually put some reference some real things that were going on back in the time as far as the drug trade and dirty governors that turned into presidents, but that's a different story. So yeah, check it out, November 22nd. It will be in comic shops. If your shop didn't order it originally, get in there and ask them to get you a copy. We're trying to do some really good stuff with this book, and we appreciate you.
Yo, we back. Shout out to Greg Berman doing his thing with the legend Marcus Williams. Rob Monroe says, I have friends working for Marvel, DC, and Image and Independence. I always buy their books. And that's the way you have to really do it for it to make sense. Because some of this stuff doesn't make sense at all. Like I said, I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers. I know that leaving is or divesting. We're divesting in relationships. We might as well add comic books to the equation. But anyway, look, we're going to transition to chat talk. So whatever is on you guys' mind, we're going to look at the chat, see what you guys talking about, see what's on your heart. What you guys want to talk about? Herschel, when is BCL going to do a con? Well, I mean, you guys got MegaCon coming up. You and Paul should go to that. That's right there in Orlando. Y'all make that happen. But we do know that there is a con taking place, I think in August. I think shout out to Blurred Core and their founder, Flood, Daron Flood. He has a con that he's put together with Greg Burnham, I want to say, and Atlantic Con down in, I think it's going to be in Virginia somewhere. But I think that's in August. But that would be a dope con to go to, hanging out with some of the good folk over at Blurred Core. But yeah, that's good. That's a good question. Behind the scenes says it's frightening to see the Blurred influencer gain millions from putting so much creative energy into Marvel, DC, and anime. We got the power to turn this all around. We do. I think, though, the problem with that, though, Dion, is we have to be convinced that we have the power. When we look at characters like when Marvel did the Falcon and the Winter Soldier story, much of that story was based on Sam coming to grips with whether or not he was worthy to carry a shield. I think sometimes as Black people, we don't always feel worthy, or that we don't necessarily know that we have the power. You gotta convince yourself that you got the power. That's the first line of defense, or the first, I would say, the first weapon that you can obtain in war is to understand that you have the power to win the war. A lot of us don't think we have that power, unfortunately. Bot Boy says, currently reading Philadelphia, new original Milestone comic, Savage Dragon, waiting on a new Bitterroot series. Me too, waiting on the new Bitterroot series, and I'm reading all of those, except the Savage Dragon. I need that Black Nyor. Thanks for the reminder. Yep. MegaCon equals AnimeCon. Well, you guys got to go in there and put some comic books in the mix, bro. We got to put some comic books in the mix. You got to go out there and win some. Got to win some anime heads to the comic books. Yeah. Shout out to Flood doing a con in Norfolk, Virginia. 757 stand up. That's what's up. Okay. Paul, you can't be signing posting notes. You got to bring a book. Derek, do you have that? Do you have that disclaimer or that troll, that shade? We need the shade alert. Oh, wow. Okay, it says, note to self, hashtag note to self says, where would you start as a new comic book creator? There are guys in this chat that could probably answer that better than I could, but I would say that if you're really, really serious, that you begin to do some things maybe on webtoons, but find some places where you can post your material. Start there with something small, and then grow it. Try not to bite off more than you can chew. Recognize how much it costs to put a book together. I think that's part of the process in terms of seeing whether or not you can do this or you want to do this, because this is a very, very expensive endeavor. Comic books are not cheap, and to put them together, you could do them digitally, and but some people like myself who love graphic novels and floppies or whatever, I want a physical copy, so the cost is there a little bit more. So you might just want to do a little research. But as far as the art stuff, figure out, spend some time creating your characters or whatever kind of story you want to tell, or, whatever it is, and just begin to shape that character. Do not try to do this on the fly. Make sure your characters are flushed out, meaning that your story, your characters have a full story arc. You may not always want to reveal everything about your character in the beginning or whatever, but you want to be able to peel layers back and get people to be invested into your characters and the story you're trying to tell. Well, that's my 2 cents on that. Frustrated says, Concrete have a submission link. I think they could reach out. They reach out to you and talk to you about your story. That's what's up. The Shook folks will be at MegaCon. I would rather wait on Bigfoot than Bitterroot. It's never coming. This guy. Oh my goodness. Sierra says, I pre-ordered Philadelphia 35 and super excited to see Nita Hawes on the cover with Blackula. Yeah, no doubt. Agent, is hard to do when I'm laughing so much at the shade being thrown at you. Yeah, man. So let's see what we got. Checked out the Dark Storm comic page. Are there books, graphic novels, or static comics? Probably graphic novels. Graphic novels. Yeah. I don't think Kevin Greavy is doing just standard floppies. He's doing graphic novels. Behind the scenes, don't make a great value version of Black Panther or Spider-Man. Stop. Troll Gang is in the building. Yeah. Blessings to you. Note to self. Behind the scenes says, did anyone see the book of Clarence this weekend? A biblical satire from the people who have Harder to Fall on Netflix. I have not seen it. I don't know if I'm going to go see it. I may wait for it to hit streaming, be honest. I do like Lakeith Stanfield, but I don't know. I mean, the story itself or whatever, I kind of get it, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be one of those things where I really want to go see American fiction. That's really the thing that's my to-do list as far as movies that are out now. I want to go see that. And the problem with that movie has been that it's been only in certain movie theaters here in DFW. It's not widespread. But I do think the Book of Clarence is everywhere. But I hadn't seen it, so I don't want nobody to spoil it. I probably will want to see it, but I probably will wait till it gets to streaming. I'm just not really, unless the wife wants to go see it. If she wants to go see it, then I'll go. But that'll probably be the only way. I'll just, And knowing my wife, if I say, hey, baby, let's go see Book of Clarence, she'd probably look at me funny. So, no. So I was hoping Jeffrey Wright would get a Golden Glove for American Fiction, but he didn't take home the trophy. Yeah, and it is what it is, bro. Guy McLeod says Book of Clarence is a must-see movie theater worthy. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Frustrated said I'm not going to see it because every time they do a black people in religion, it's always a joke. Remember Black Jesus was on Adult Swim? Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of mad at Aaron Magruder for that. You know what I'm saying? I love Aaron Magruder. I'm a fan. He did that, though. I was like, really, bro? That's what we doing? So Troy Gunn said, oh, please go see American Fiction. Excellent movie. Yeah, I'm going to see it. It's got to make the time. It's got to support these black films. Yep. Yeah. Actually, we did interview Kevin Greedy recently, and we talked about the Dark Storm book. Yeah, so. Yep. Has anybody, I was curious, did anybody got the new Alpha Core book by Eric July? I know that's out. He sold like 21,000 graphic novels. That dude is killing the game. It ain't even funny. You can't spoil it. Go see it. You'll love it. Great movie, well written. Herschel said, how about them Cowboys? You say, look, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I feel bad for Cowboys fans. I feel bad for the Cowboys fan because the Cowboys did not show up tonight. I don't know what was going on with that, but they did not show up. That was trash. I think I'll never get over hearing Dak Prescott keep screaming, here we go. Y'all gone, bro. That's not good. American Fiction, I might see her. People draw comparisons to Hollywood Shuffle. Okay. Recast T'Challa in the Cowboys roster. You know what? Derek, I'm going to need the disclaimer for the chat again. Herschel won't stop. The Cowboys do. Eric July will be at MegaCon. Can we get a BCL interview? Boy. Paul? Paul? Now that on the cool would be dope. Okay, let's see. Sierra says, good night, everyone. Take care, Sierra. Be blessed. So know the Cowboys do what they do every playoffs. They probably won't have. They'll probably have a new coach. Well, they probably going to fire their coach. I can't see them going another year with Mike McCarthy. And their defensive coordinator. Yeah. Well, the thing is, they have the talent. They just don't execute. They just don't execute from time to time. They got the talent. It's not like they don't have the talent. They got the talent. You got one of the best wide receivers in the game. You know, CeeDee Lamb is money. Is money. That dude is amazing. Dak, on the other hand, it's kind of sad. But, it is what it is. So shout out to the Cowboys. I mean, watching the playoffs, just like me. Doddsverse said, Ravens. Okay, we got a Raven fan in the building. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the playoffs next week. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night too. Matter of fact. So yeah. Paul says Dion and Herschel compete with each other and troll them. Yeah. Here we go, Steelers. Oh man, I can't believe that there's talk of people wanting Mike Tomlin to lead the Steelers. I don't understand that, but okay. Y'all keep doing that over there. Yep, Texas still money though. That's what's up. H-Town, baby. All day. All day. Here we go. Hike say. Oh, I think you enjoyed the game today, huh, Herschel? Oh man. It was a rough day for the Cowboy fans. What did Tomlin do? He didn't do nothing but win. They hadn't had a losing season in 12 years. I don't understand the Steeler fan base. If they're not playing in Super Bowls, they feel like everything is for naught. You know what I'm saying? They think they in New England Patriots. They one of the best franchises in all of sports or whatever, you know. But for whatever reason, they want another Super Bowl run. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? Tomlin's been there for a while. And the thing about the Steelers is the Steelers don't fire head coaches. The Steelers keep good head coaches. The Steelers have literally had like 4 head coaches in their whole history. Chuck Noll, the guy that's over at Fox, God dog it. What I can't remember his name. Anyway, it's Chuck Noll, the other dude, then Mike Tomlin. They hadn't really had, that's it. It's like literally, that's the whole franchise. 75 years worth of football. It's like 3-4 people in the Steelers organization. You know, shout out to them, man. I love Steel City. Shout out to my man, DJ Phil, Pittsburgh's finest. Bill Cowher. Thank you. Bill Cowher. And here's the funny thing about all of these head coaches that we just talked about name, they've all won Super Bowls. Milestone performing like the Cowboys. I'm about to log off. I'm about to log off. Frustration says, I want to apologize to Paul. Please don't kick me out of BCL. I have no place to go. I don't think he's going to do that, bro. You good. Yeah, that's what's up. Well, look, guys, we 2 hours in, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give the benediction. The benediction comes from the book of Philippians, the 4th chapter, verse number 8. It simply says this: Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, and whatsoever things are pure, and whatsoever things are lovely, and whatsoever things be of a good report, if there be any virtue, think on these things. If there be any praise, think on these things. From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. We out.